Welcome back everyone to our career mode series of NASCAR Heat 3. In today's video we have another hot seat offer in the Monster Energy Cup series with yet another 4-star ride. So we're trying to work our way up to the 5-star rides, and hopefully by the end of the season we will have at least one of those opportunities that we can complete so that we can get offered a 5-star ride for next year in the Cup series, our very first, hopefully, full-time Cup series. But before we can do that, we've got to get to the 5-star rides, and we have yet another hot seat offer, this time at Kentucky with another 4-star team. This time, I believe we're going to be racing for Front Row Motorsports, and as we saw last time, we need a top 20 finish. So, let's get to it. All right, folks, it is race time here at Kentucky, and I'll let you guys know already I've had to restart this race 3 times. Because we have gotten run over going into turn 1 within just the first few laps. So we know from times past that the AI here is extremely aggressive. We're starting from the rear, and hopefully we can have a nice clean race. You guys know I am not a huge fan of the wrecks, so I don't create videos with tons of wrecks in them and try to create that type of artificial excitement. Oh, look at that. The AI give us nothing at all.
All right, clear outside.
So right now, all I'm really trying to do is, we have to maintain our speed as best we can because we need to get to the top 20. And this should be an extreme challenge for us because I am not very good at this track as it is. And we're in a 4-star ride, so none of this is lining up good for us. But right now, main thing is just don't wreck.
Still there.
I would really prefer to be on the high side, I think, right now, even though we're going to be down on speed. But not if they're going to be 3 wide. If they're going to be 3 wide, then it does us no good to be stuck on the high side. Alright, so let's get up here and just see what we've got.
Stay up high here.
See if maybe we can get through some of this clutter at the back of the field at least.
Hold the good wheel here. Don't move. Stay high. Hang tight there, driver. Hold this line here. Bottom lane's clear. Use it if you need it. Hang tight there, driver. Hold this line.
Alright, so I didn't really run any practice. Unless you want to consider the first few laps of my previous attempts to race as practice.
Still there.
So everything we have from the gearing to the setup itself
All right, now you're clear.
is all about compromise and trying to figure out what we needed while still providing a challenge to get to the top 20.
Right,
Lots of
now.
challenges in this race.
All right, now you're clear.
And so usually we have an idea that, yeah, we can get where we need to be. In this case, the top 20. But at this point, I'm not sure. I'm not sure if we're going to have enough speed to get into the top 20. So far, so good. I have to admit, the car's handling pretty good. It's a little bit tight overall, as you might expect. Look at that. Yeah, the 13 is going to give us no room. So we're going to have to take some evasive maneuvers. So he's going from top to bottom of the track, wherever he needs to be to block us. So we're going to have to figure out a way around him.
Clear to your left. Clear all around.
All right, nice run through turns 1 and 2. And that's typically the way it runs for us at this track. We do really good through turns 1 and 2, and not so much in 3 and 4. So best case scenario for me is usually to hold my own in turns 3 and 4.
Hold the good wheel here. Don't move. Stay high. Careful. Still there. All right, now you're clear.
Okay, not bad. We'll take it. All right, so now they're 2 by 2 in front of us, which is fine with us because we're in 25th right now, and we need to pass a lot more cars. So if they're all bunched up together, that might turn out to be good, unless they get 3 wide in front of me. Then that's not going to be good. All right, so going through turns 1 and 2 here, let's see if we can get... There we go. If we get to the outside of these guys, we can motor on through here. So we're only running one stage in this particular race. I really love, more than anything, I love green flag runs. And we don't really get very many of those in the other series right now. So I decided that we just do a single long stage, or at least longer than we're used to in this race. There's that 43 car, which we drove in the last hot seat offer. Beautiful looking car. All right, so far so good. We are into 21st position. All right, so our speed is better than expected. Oh wow, and
Still there.
we were able to get through 3 and 4 better than another car. And that is certainly unexpected. Okay, oops. He didn't like me being next to him, so we'll hopefully we can stay through it. Yes, and we're clear of him, so I was worried he was going to come back and we were going to end up in the wall. Guess maybe he thought we looked at him wrong or something. Who knows? But the good news is we're in 20th position. Maybe that was a love tap to let us know that we had reached the position we needed to be in. But of course, we don't want to stop here. We want to get as many positions as we can because the AI are very unpredictable, or maybe they're too predictable in their aggression. So we just need to do the best we can, and hopefully we can continue pulling away from these guys behind us. You notice in our mirror, we don't really have anybody immediately behind us, and that is a good thing.
Keep it up. That was your best lap ever.
All right, I love it when the spotter says it's your best lap ever on a track that we don't ever run any laps at, so... That generally just means that, hey, you've run a few laps and this happens to be the best lap you've run so far in this race. And the reason it doesn't show any laps for me other than what I've just done on this particular track is because I reset everything in the game when I restarted the career mode. Got rid of all that, so everything reset, like starting all over. All right, sitting in 19th position, so we've made our way through half the field. And of course, most importantly, we are inside of our goal position. So 13 laps about to be completed, starting lap 14. And now we can just try to settle in here, see if we can continue to make up spots and make up ground and get the best finish we can. Of course, points don't really mean anything to us, but we always want to pick up as many owner points as we can for our hot seat car owner. So it does look like we have speed enough to get into the top 15 or 16 just based on how we're running right now. All right, great run coming off of the corner. Let's see what happens. Okay, the 3's going to go down low. He's trying to get inside of Logano.
Still there.
Trying to stay in the gas pretty aggressively if I can. Maintain as much speed. As you can see, we're getting crushed down the straightaway. All right, we really need to be clear of the 22. Yes, okay. Now let's see if I can get back to the bottom. No, I cannot. Drove it in too deep right there to get back to the bottom. You can see the 22 has so much extra speed that even though he had to get off the gas on the straightaway, he was still a good bit faster than me on the straight. That's how poorly we're getting through turns 3 and 4. All right, now we're starting to pull away from those guys behind us. And another good turns 1 and 2, and I think that'll put quite a bit of distance on Logano behind us. All right, there we go. You can see him creep in closer on entry, but on exit, he could not hang with us. All right, you could probably hear and see the car getting a little loose on the entry of turn 3. That's actually not a bad thing.
Cross flag, you're in the air, halfway this time by.
And the reason it's not a terribly bad thing is because if the car is rotating, then that allows us to carry more speed than if it gets really tight. All right, I thought about going to the inside right there of the 12, but I felt like he was going to come down and chop me off. And at this point, we don't need to take that chance. It's simply not worth it. We're enjoying a nice long run, no caution flags to this point, running with strict yellows. And we haven't really seen strict yellows mean a whole lot so far in this career mode. We've seen a few caution flags here and there, but we've also seen a lot more times where you would fully expect a caution flag, even with relaxed yellows, and we didn't get one. So if you're counting on yellow flags to, run a particular strategy or make up positions, then this game is not really very accommodating in that respect.
Still there.
You better have the green flag speed if you're going to make it happen in these races. All right, here you can see the 12 coming, and I'm not even going to remotely try to block him.
Hold your line. You got one.
Instead, we're just going to focus on our entry of turns 1 and 2. And we're going to try to put him firmly behind us in the mirror. And then hopefully pull away from him as we start to work on Brad K. Once again, you can see the 2 car does not have its normal sponsorship. That's because I didn't bother to put in the age verification in the game. So if you're wondering why you see Brad on the number 2 car instead of a beer sponsorship, that's the reason. All right, so we're sitting here 16th, and laps are starting to wind down. But we're closing in on Brad, no doubt. Now we just need to figure out how we're going to get by him and if we can maintain that pace once we get by him. Because you can see we're not getting away from the 12 either. He just keeps coming right back to us.
Still there. Hold your line. Stay up high. Stay high. Hang tight there, driver. Hold this line here.
Okay, we just need to stay close enough.
Careful now. Still there.
All right, here we go.
Hang tight there, driver. Hold this
Can we
line
get
here.
him cleared? We should.
Bottom lane clear.
Yes, at least for right now, we've got him cleared. Trying to get down to the bottom. You can see that car wiggling around the back end, wanting to step out on me.
All right, 10 to go. Keep it nice and smooth for it. Inside. Inside. All right, now you're clear.
All right, there we go. We're up into 15th position, and hopefully now we can maintain that and start our march toward these guys in front of us. Even if we had the speed, I don't think we're going to have time to get to the top 10, nor do I really think we have the speed for it, but I think we're going to run out of laps before that even becomes an issue.
Hold your line. You got one inside. Hold your line. Bottom lane's clear. Use it if you need it.
All right, so trying to leave that bottom lane in 1 and 2 open for these guys as they continue to get right to my bumper or even inside of me going into that corner. All right, 8 laps to go, and things are looking really good, much better than I thought they would be looking. I figured at this point in the race we would still be struggling to try to get to that top 20. But instead, we're trying to figure out how to hang on to 15th for the remainder of this race. That would be a really good finish for this car and this owner. So we certainly want to make that happen. So we're just going to try not to do anything crazy for these last few laps and see if it'll work out for us. All right, 6 more times around, and once again I'm leaving that bottom open. And as always, they get right there to me on entry, but then once we get back to the gas, they cannot hang with us. All right, this should be 5 more laps. And it is. So we could run our quickest laps if we get right down on that yellow line and hug that, particularly through turns 1 and 2. But again, at this point, if there's nobody behind me, immediately we might try to do it, but for the most part, we're not terribly worried about it right now. All right, so we're closing in on another group of cars, a pretty sizable group of cars. My guess is that several of these are going to be laps down, starting with the car immediately in front of us. Looks like Sorensen is running last, 39 cars in the field. So 3 laps to go, and as always, we're just not going to worry too much about passing Sorensen. We'll try to make it happen right here, but if he puts up a fight,
Careful now, still there. Cleared
it's just not worth it to get ourselves in trouble. Same thing with Brendan Gaughan, who has got to enjoy seeing us coming because we started right, I believe it was side by side with Brendan Gaughan.
2 more, 2 to go. You're all clear up top. Inside.
Ooh, the 2 cars there.
All right, now you're clear.
All right, so we're going to fight for this position, but again, we're just not going to do anything crazy because ultimately this position isn't the end of the world for us. Ooh, that was not a good entry to turn 3.
White flag is in.
All right, here we go. Final time around. All right, let's see if we can get to his inside. Oh, look out. All right, I didn't want to send Brad up the track there, but he was certainly asking for it by diving in front of me that hard on entry. He was asking for a gentle tap from me. So 16th position, that is exactly what we needed. We will certainly take that. So let's go ahead and hit continue. All right, of course, we have no points. We're in last place as far as that goes, but we're not going to worry about that. We have bigger fish to fry. All right, so now the next thing is, what does Twitter think about all of this? Okay, nice job with that top 20 finish. Thank you very much, front row. Thank you very much also for that 200 grand. All right, so Denny Hamlin, don't remember being around Denny Hamlin in that race, but we'll take the compliment. Thank you very much. And the 43, thank you very much, Darrell Wallace. Alex Bowman, now, of course, we were around the 43 and the 88. I remember that. And Martin Truex, look at that stare he's giving us. That's the look you give somebody whenever you send a mean Twitter message, not a compliment. All right, so that's going to do it for week 21. Now we move on to week 22. So we'll see where we go from here. As always, I am continuing to move things forward by simulating races until we get closer to the playoffs, because that's really what we're interested in. We have several wins so far in this season in both the Truck Series as well as the Xfinity Series. So we're really focused on the playoffs, as well as also keeping in mind that we need to get to $4.5 million, if possible, by the end of the season. So we're really going to be cutting it close as to whether or not that is doable for us. But hey, that's what we play the game for, is to find out if we can get it done. So that's going to do it for today. Thank you very much for joining me. And stay tuned as we will continue our career mode series of NASCAR Heat 3.